my field, in my work, I'm seeing a lot of escapes and wildlife incidences, and I've noticed that when it's reported on, it's either a cutesy story, like it's kind of funny, and kangaroo escaped, haha, without thinking about animal welfare implications or things like that. And the other thing I was noticing is that it's often reported as a one-off, like it's happening in this community, it's completely unique, which is absolutely not the case. So when I was talking about this with my colleagues, and I was already following these stories and recording them in an Excel sheet, they said this would be a great tool for researchers, for our supporters, and anybody else interested in issues related to captive wildlife. I think having regulations on paper is one thing, but actually enforcing regulations that exist, it's a big issue. We've seen that in Quebec, in Ontario, and other places as well, because enforcement's often understaffed, like minimally resourced. And many of these things happen behind closed doors, and they appear when an animal escapes and such. And I think in addition to that is that we're still allowed really to keep a lot of wild animals as pets. So maybe not like the tigers and the lions, right? If you're outside of Ontario, but you can keep like hundreds of different species of reptiles and amphibians and birds and all these other species that are completely inappropriate to be kept as pets. But it's legal. We really hope that this map will give people a better idea, like what's going on with captive wildlife in Canada. So not only in Ontario, but all across the country. And we're hoping that that will encourage people to take action. This web page does have options to write your local representative, for example, and other things. And it will give people a clear idea what's going on. There might be incidences that have occurred that we have not seen, that we haven't been aware of, that we haven't updated. And we would love to hear from the public on that, because this is a couple of people job, but really to monitor what is happening in captive wildlife in Canada, we need a lot more people to help us monitor this, because no government is doing this, no other organization is doing this.